Mhm.
Greetings. My name is the Badwolf. I also go by my government name, James C. Today, we're going to be talking about the CUSIP number and the adventures thereof. You like a little sparkle. What's going on, guys? You know who it is. You know what it is. It is the Bad Wolf. And yes, we are going to be talking about the CUSIP. Now, let me tell you about it. So, a long time ago, when I started this journey, one of the first things I found out in the deception of the birth certificate, after contacting many different legal departments in many different states, that not all of them do this, but some of them do. A number of governments do it, and on certain documents, but not all. One of the reasons why you can't copy the state provided birth certificate is because it's on bond paper. Bond paper. A number of them are issued to you because it's the birth of the legal person, the birth of the employee, the birth of the U.S. citizen, the birth of a member in their membership. That's why it does not contain any living information if it's the state generated one. We also now know that the certificate of live birth is good as is, and the certified copy is good as is. If the one you have has no information on the living being that is you or whomever was live birthed, then that is the birth certificate on bond paper and has a CUSIP because it is looked at and regarded as a security because it is. We also know that most of the federal government does not know this information. In speaking with many legal departments privately, for the most part, of course, the CUSIP number, not always does that document have a value, but generally they do. So let's take a look at the CUSIP number, what the AI has to say about it, and we'll go from there. Hope everybody's having a great day. Once again, this is me on vacation, killing a couple hours because my brain gets bored. So let's see what we can find here.
A CUSIP, Committee on Uniform Securities Identity.
It refers to as a CUSIP. People in the legal departments I talk to refer to it as a CUSIP. Totally up to you, does not matter. It's the same thing.
Identification procedures. Number is a unique identifier assigned to securities, such as stocks and bonds.
Oh, so if your birth certificate to all those naysayers out there has a CUSIP or CUSIP number, whatever you like, it's the Community on Uniform Securities Identification Procedures. It's a number, a unique identifier assigned to securities. Cha-ching! So some of these states, federal government, Department of State, DOJ, etc., who watch my videos, some of these states, and there's nothing illegal about it, are issuing securities based on the birth of the legal member, off of the given name of the national. And these securities are often either stocks or bonds in the U.S. financial markets.
Bonds in the U.S. financial markets. If you want to uncover the value of a CUSIP number, follow these steps. 1. Find the CUSIP number. If you don't already have the CUSIP number, you can obtain it from brokerage account statements, if you own the security. Company SEC filings, SEC Edgar database. Investor relations pages of publicly traded companies. Financial news sources, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, MarketWatch, etc. 2. Use free public sources, limited data. FINRA's bond lookup.
Now, first of all, they told you that limited data, meaning you're not going to get all of the information. Another place that you can look these up are on quantumonline.com. Remember, not all of these places where you look them up, they're not responsible for giving you the credit or et cetera that may or may not be, educationally speaking, from your favorite non-belligerent non-combatant, on those documents. They just let you have a portal into the financial pool, world, market, database where it is held and traded behind your back in the tune of millions of dollars. Do not contact me on how to do it. I'm giving you a video for educational reasons. I assume no responsibility for what you do with this information, any of my videos, any of my files, etc., etc. We are relieved of all responsibilities. Entertainment only.
Look up FINRA market data. For corporate and municipal bonds, enter the CUSIP to check bond details. SEC Edgar database, SEC Edgar. Search for filings that might reference the CUSIP. Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, or Bloomberg. Enter the company name or ticker and look for bond or stock identifiers. 3. Paid CUSIP lookup services, full data. For full financial details, price, yield, maturity, issuer, etc., you may need paid services. CUSIP Global Services, CGS, www.cusip.com.
Okay. You can also go to mortgageauditsonline.com and inform the person you speak to, which will be a gentleman by the name of Sean Adley, that you are referred by the Badwolf and you should get a discount. Cannot guarantee that, but you should. All right. I am not responsible for prices or services, etc. Just a referral. All right. Let's keep going.
www.cusip.com.
CUSIP.com, and remember, guys, the .com behind all these websites means commercial, commerce. All right. In the world of commerce, commercial world, public, open. And these are the ones who issue CUSIPs.
Official source but requires a subscription. Bloomberg Terminal.
Which they may be pricey because they're the ones who officially do it. I haven't checked, but if you do, let me know.
Terminal. Enter, CUSIP Go, requires a Bloomberg subscription. Morningstar.
A lot of these places, they don't want you just looking up the value of these things. They want you to be invested with them because they know what they have is valuable. I don't know what their subscriptions are, but it is what it is. Do what you feel necessary for you.
ChatGPT. Share. Where If you don't already have the CUSIP number, you can obtain it from.
All right, we were right in here.
Bloomberg Terminal. Enter, CUSIP Go requires a Bloomberg subscription. Morningstar Direct or S&P Capital IQ. Provides detailed financial and market data. 4. Cross-check with Federal Reserve and Treasury, for bonds. Treasury Direct, www.treasurydirect.gov. If the CUSIP is a U.S. Treasury bond or note, look it up here.
Now, you can look it up here, which is where one of the places where we started doing this, but keep in mind, they are opening a portal. Okay, the way it's been explained, and they've done a very good job of trying to tell you to be careful of people out there scamming. This is true. But what they're not telling you, because they don't have a responsibility to tell you, is that under some occasions, you can, in fact, use them in their services if done properly. Do not contact me. You have to learn it for yourself. Of transferring credit from said CUSIP security or the whole thing to other places that you deem proper, but we'll get to some of that. But do not think that they just owe you money. It's not how it works. They're just a portal. I will give you this as education. If the place that issued the document is still around, they're the ones ultimately responsible for said documents and its financial or other terms, matters, transactions, etc.
Here. MSRB emma.msrb.org. For municipal bond price and trading details. 5. Verify trading and value details. Once you've found the security linked to the CUSIP, check current market value on financial news sites or brokerage platforms. Historical performance for trends. Issuer's credit rating for bonds via Moody's, S&P, or Fitch. Would you like assistance with a specific CUSIP number?
Now, I don't know what it means necessarily by this. Obviously, I didn't do it, but I guess I could. Educational information only, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, gem drop. Ask it deeper information about a specific CUSIP, say from a birth document or other documents you may have with numbers, and asking it what it is. Maybe even asking it to help you look up the value or the data on it. That's all I'm going to say.
What other things can you tell me about this CUSIP, including how do I redeem it for credit or cash value?
Oh, this is the coup d'etat everybody's been asking me for since day one, educationally speaking. Let's just see what this says.
Value. If you're looking into a CUSIP number for redemption, cash value, or credit, it's important to clarify what type of security the CUSIP represents.
So this is what I was saying before. Not all of those documents that have a CUSIP just have money just sitting there. There's different types. So let's kind of break it down and see what else we have uncovered here. I've already gone through this. I'm just getting you guys up to speed.
Represents. Here's what you need to know. 1. What can you learn about a CUSIP? A CUSIP number can reveal security type, stock, bond, treasury, mutual fund, etc. Issuer details, corporation, government, municipality. Maturity date, for bonds. Interest rate, if applicable. Market value, current trading price. Historical performance. You can look this up using FINRA Bond Lookup, for corporate and municipal bonds. CUSIP Global Services, paid service. SEC Edgar, for company filings. 2.
Here's where we're going to start to get good. All right. This is what all thousands of you guys have emailed me over the years, which is why I say, don't email me on this. I don't answer many questions anymore unless you pay for the questionings or you do a consult. And even then, I'm not going to go over this, which is why I'm making the video. Everybody keeps still emailing me going, well, can you just, I'll give you half. I'll give you, you ain't giving me half. Stop the malarkey. Not one person out there who's done their due diligence has sent me a check for any of it. So stop. I don't believe you. It ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna do it. All these years, ain't nobody sent me no big check for nothing. All the things I've done. So, hooey. I'm showing you theory here. Okay. This is education, entertainment, and theory. Informational purposes only. Do your own due diligence. I'm just showing you steps that you can use. See how you're not going to send me any checks anyway, whether you do it successfully or not. So I'm telling you, do it on your own. Do your own research, learn, open your mind. So let's go.
How to redeem a CUSIP for cash or credit. A. If you own the security.
So this is one of the questions that we had since day one. We have the birth certificate in hand or whatever document, the CUSIP on there. Do we own it? That's always been a question. Do your parents own it because they are the ones who gave the state the information? Do the states own it? Well, we know the states don't own it because it has our name on there. Our parents gave them the information. They kind of did this behind our backs. So who really owns it? Well, through subrogation, meaning if your name is on it, it's probably mine. But if you never figure out how to do this, then I'm sure, legally speaking, eventually it could be considered abandoned funds. But it's also considered a type of fraud because they didn't tell us they were attaching these CUSIP numbers to those documents and it had a credit value. So some could argue that it belongs to the state or the municipality that created it. I personally don't have an exact answer, but my thought would be is that educationally speaking, it's more so ours than anybody else's has our name on there. Subrogation. But do your own due diligence. I know a lot of you guys are going to ignore that and just run through these things anyway. So we take no responsibility. And of course, here's something I'm going to throw at you guys too. Do you guys want to also know why they don't want everybody to know how to do this and if this is real? Because if everybody had access to everything that you're entitled to, it would throw the financial system into chaos, legally speaking. Just like over in what, Japan or China or whatever, where it's like 5 million yen for a gallon of milk. If everybody becomes successful, there's no poor people. If there's no poor people and everybody has the same amount of money, then everybody becomes poor again. And only the super rich become or stay rich. See what I'm saying? Which I know, once again, most of you guys are going to ignore that anyway. So do your own due diligence. You are grown where you should be. This is information that you can use to further yourself. Do not be surprised if they do not, somewhere along this line, ask you to sign a non-disclosure agreement or to keep it confidential, et cetera, et cetera. So this is only being brought to you guys as education and entertainment. I'm not saying this is fact at all. I'm not even saying that all of them have any value. And I'm not saying that all of them even are worth, uh, you know, X amount of dollars or anything. Just saying. But they could be. This is theory. Okay. Goes out to all the legal departments and groups that watch my stuff too. Theory. Theory. And it's on the public side because we can access the AI who's looking it up, telling us, hey, this is what you should do if this is true. So let's go.
Security. Sell it through a broker. If the CUSIP represents stocks, bonds, or mutual funds in your account, you can sell it via your brokerage account, e.g., Fidelity, E-Trade, Charles Schwab. Redeem matured bonds. If it's a matured Treasury bond, you can redeem it through treasurydirect.gov.
So here's the thing. They're saying if it's a mature Treasury bond, which means the Treasury issued it, most likely, unless I'm crazy, and maybe a little, your birth certificate wasn't issued by the Treasury. Now, I have heard that ultimately they can be responsible for it if that state is not around, but that state is still around. So this might be something that you want to bring up. I would not, educationally speaking, send your document to your state trying to get them to do the right thing. I would probably either inquire with the head of the financial department or the Department of Revenue or the legal department, inquire about the number, and maybe request any information about, let's see, how do they say it up here? Cashing it or, redeeming the credit on that particular note. You can also talk to CUSIP.com. They may be able to help you. Otherwise, they're telling you right here, broker, etc. So let's keep going.
treasurydirect.gov. For municipal or corporate bonds, contact your broker or the issuing institution.
What I just said. Whoever issues it is ultimately responsible. Otherwise, a securities broker or what is it, like a Series 7 broker possibly can help you. However, they're going to usually want between 7 to 12%, which if it's worth something good, it's not a problem. But once again, you may have to sign non-disclosure, privacy agreement, whatever else. All right. And I'm not showing you me doing this because I'm telling you, I have not done this. All right. This is just theory for those people who keep asking me. Be entertained.
Institution. Cash and mutual funds. If it's a mutual fund, you can redeem shares directly through the fund company.
Now, from here, because ChatGPT is inside of their sandbox, it says if you think the CUSIP relates to a secret trust or straw man account, there's online theories. It has to go through that, right? It says, however, there is no legal or proven method to redeem. But then it goes outside of financial markets. So that means there should be a way to redeem it inside the financial markets. See what they did there? It says there's no legal or proven method to redeem this CUSIP outside of financial markets. So that means that there must be one inside. The government and the Treasury and the Reserve do not provide individuals direct access to funds via CUSIP numbers because you have to have an intermediary, like a broker who knows what to do, or a fund company who knows what to do. That's why they're in place. The government and them put these people in place to do this. So now we're live. So I'm gonna ask you some live questions. I gave you my CUSIP number. Right now, what data and additional info could you display in real time?
I can attempt to provide you with White heavy checkmark basic security details, if available. Type of instrument, e.g., corporate bond, municipal bond, treasury security, etc. Issuer name. Maturity date. Coupon interest rate, if it's a bond. Issue date. Current status, e.g., active, matured, defaulted. White heavy checkmark market information, if publicly available. Market value, latest price or range. Last trade date and volume. Credit rating, e.g., from Moody's, S&P, Fitch. Yield or return metrics, for bonds. White heavy checkmark filings and documentation. SEC filings, e.g., prospectuses, 10-Ks. Offering circulars or debt issuance documents, if it's a public security. EMMA, if it's a municipal bond, data including trade history. Warning limitations. Some CUSIPs are private, e.g., private placements or restricted securities, and might not have public data. Real-time pricing and trade-level details for corporate or structured products may require access to Bloomberg Terminal, CUSIP Global Services, or Morningstar Direct. I can't redeem or access the value of the CUSIP like a broker or financial institution can. I'll search for.
Okay. All right.
Search. Reason.
All right. Now let's see, what else should we ask? Um, okay, wait,
Here are the most relevant types of forms or documents to ask for. 1. Official statement or offering circular. Issued at the time the bond/security was created. Contains full details, terms, interest, maturity, trustees, and purpose. 2. Bond resolution or ordinance. Passed by the City Council, county, or municipality authorizing the bond issue. Lays out powers, restrictions, and intent. 3. Trust indenture agreement. If the CUSIP is part of a bond issued under a trust, this document names the trustee and explains terms of the trust. 4. CUSIP application or registration file. Request a copy of the original CUSIP registration from the issuer, or CUSIP Global Services with permission. 5. Debt service schedules/redemption calendars. Shows payment dates, rates, and redemption options, important if you're trying to challenge or redeem. 6. Certificate of issuance/purchase contract. If you believe your identity or property is linked to a CUSIP, i.e., through public trust or property registration, request a certified copy. Envelope: how to request the info professionally. Here's a sample letter template you can customize and send via certified mail or official email. Your name, your mailing address, city, state, zip, phone number, email. Date. Records officer/clerk, municipality name or department, address. Request for public records pertaining to CUSIP #XXX. Dear Records Officer, pursuant to applicable public records laws and in accordance with transparency obligations under Insert State Open Records Law, e.g., California Public Records Act, I am formally requesting access to and certified copies of the following documents related to the issuance of the security associated with CUSIP number XXXXX. The original.
Now imagine if you lost yours, but you know it's out there somewhere. You can request a certified copy or ask them for what information they have underneath your name, or hell yes, even maybe your parents. They might have theirs sitting out there too, if it hasn't been considered abandoned funds. Just a thought.
Original official statement or offering circular. The bond resolution or ordinance authorizing the issuance. Any applicable trust indenture or trust agreement. The CUSIP registration application or assignment confirmation. Any redemption schedules or debt service tables. This request is made in good faith for personal research and administrative purposes.
There you go. That's good.
Purposes. I am not seeking to disrupt or impede any operations. If fees apply for certified copies, kindly inform me in advance. Please respond within the statutory timeline, and advise if any portion of the request is unclear or overly broad. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. Respectfully. Your name/signature, optional, authorized representative or beneficiary. Always send via certified mail or with proof of receipt if physical. Follow up in 10 to 14 days if you don't hear back. Be respectful and formal. These departments are more likely to cooperate when approached properly. If denied, ask for the legal basis of the denial in writing.
There you go. Something I've always told you. Just because anybody in the public denies you something doesn't mean that they're right necessarily. They could be. But generally, whoever they are, you're not talking to the legal department. The legal department has to give you a legal basis in writing if denied anything. Judge, lawyer, attorney, police officer, sheriff, they have to have the legal department, if denied for some reason something, why? In writing. And it has to be legible so we know who to stand on, because if that person is wrong, they're denying you of your rights or due process or whatever else, and they can be held accountable. That is your ass. So just because one of them tells you, oh no, denied, they're just saying that. Okay, denied on what basis? Can you put that in legal writing? Are you licensed in law to make that legal determination? No? Well, then you're just giving me a hand job. I need it in writing. I need you to sign off on it, that denial. Oh, I won't do that. Oh, so you're playing a game. Well, then I need the legal department to do that. No. Okay, so now I have to go above you to your boss and to the government and report that, you guys are committing fraud and treason and perjury, theft, or whatever else is going on. Hold them accountable. And if they wriggle around like they usually do, then you take them to court over it. You file all of your complaints, get them out of office, make them lose money. They will easily tell you no because it's easy. You generally know they're on some effery if they want to call you. If they call you, that means you've done something right, but they don't want to talk about it on through the mail because they can be held liable to it. All right, let's look at the flip side.
Great question, and it's a smart one to ask if you're investigating whether a CUSIP has real-world value, maturity, or tradability. Here's the full truth, broken down. Crossmark no, not all CUSIPs are actively traded or have current cash value. Here's why. A CUSIP is just a tracking number, like a VIN on a car, for financial instruments issued in the U.S. and Canada. It doesn't automatically mean there's money or trade value, but it can represent something valuable if the underlying instrument is active. White heavy checkmark common CUSIPs with value or credit potential. Corporate bonds, mature for face value plus interest. Municipal bonds, issued by cities/states, often tax-free interest. Treasury securities, bills, notes, bonds. Mutual funds. Stocks, sometimes, though usually tracked by ticker. These typically have face value, maturity dates, coupon payments, market price. Crossmark CUSIPs without liquid or redeemable value. Securities that have already matured or been called back. Private placement bonds may not be tradable on public markets. Securitized instruments backed by non-performing assets. Trust instruments or shell entities not intended for public trading. Book entry only positions without public holders.
So generally what this tells me, because I can speak this, a majority of them are worth value because these are very rarely done. People don't normally do almost any of these because it doesn't make any money. Doesn't make any money, doesn't make any sense. All right. Let's see here. What else? Okay, so now I'm gonna ask it a general internet question. So just bear with me. I have heard um online that we the people have been securitized by way of the birth certificate issued by the state vital department, etc. In adding a CUSIP to the birth certificate, and that it's on bond paper. This was done long ago to securitize the national debt through can you tell me if there is any truth? to this. Now, we already know, we've already seen the CUSIPs on there. I've already been told by the legal department that those are CUSIPs on there. So let's just see what it has to say about this. So here, look. So it says there's no publicly available CUSIP tied to your birth certificate. You won't find a public CUSIP number. Okay, so here you have to be careful because technically that document that you get with the CUSIP number, the birth certificate, is a private. So here's how they can get away with the truth. You see how they can, one word can make a difference? It says you won't find a public CUSIP number, true, because you can find the private one. Thousands of us already seen it. I already know it's been confirmed by the legal department. Assigned to your birth certificate through open records. So they're saying, yeah, you won't find a public one through open records, though some speculation may exist. So this is how it's not necessarily lying. It's just giving you a variation of its truth. Okay. Claims that each person has a secret trust worth millions or billions of dollars are based on private interpretations not disclosed by law. Okay. So in this one here, this is true. You do not have a secret trust worth millions or billions of dollars. You do not. You do not. I agree. However, this comes from the fact that the Treasury holds all the money of America for us Americans, which means you do not have a trust. We have a shared trust because we are the beneficiaries of the United States of America. You can look up the executive orders. That's what it is. The United States is held in trust. They are the trustees. We're the beneficiaries. So yes, you do not have a secret trust. We have a shared general trust. Okay. What is legally worth exploring? If we're going to take action, let me go back another side and see what it has to say. Okay, so it says, talking about the straw man, it says true, partially or fully verifiable. Your birth certificate creates a legal identity recognized by your state. Right, this is true. See, it's even admitting it. Nice. Okay. Trust law and commercial law differentiate between a legal person and a living man or woman. True. This is all true and good. The Treasury and Federal Reserve manage national debt using tools like T-bills, bonds, monetized instruments. Also true. Monetized instruments. Okay. So don't listen to people when they're telling you certain BS. Not verified. So not verified only means that there's no official connection. Does not mean false or fraudulent. That's your specific birth certificate has a CUSIP. Not all states take part in putting a CUSIP number on your birth document. I've seen this. Not all of them do. I have not seen all of them to know 100%, but I have seen some that did not have it on there. So not all of them are taking part in that. I don't know if they're all supposed to, but this is true. Some do not. Keep in mind, generally, your heirloom, souvenir, certificate of live birth definitely will not have one. Those are private documents from the hospital. The state of created ones usually will have them, but unless memory fails, I do remember seeing one or two that did not have it. Now, that doesn't mean that they may not have an account, a paper ledger using the serial number, because they all have serial numbers, where you can contact your state and they can check that serial number to see if they have a security held there with your information in CUSIP. Just saying. That you have millions in a secret account. We already addressed that. That's sending accepted for value documents, blah, 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 bonds. You'll get money from the treasury. It's not how it works. You have to have an intermediary. The accepted for values is just basically telling them, I authorize you to discharge. That's all that accepted for value means. That's all that that means. So no, you're not going to just send something and they're going to give you money. It doesn't work that way. That there's a direct paper trail linking your birth certificate to an actual tradable bond. Once again, it says this is just not verified. It's speculative. So the bond, the paper itself is it. The birth certificate is the bond. That's why it's on bond paper. You cannot copy it because it'd be securities fraud. You get into trouble. You're not supposed to make a copy of it. That's why. You can do your own private documents or the one from the hospital, but those aren't securities. Assert your status as a living man or woman. Separate your estate or trust from the legal fiction. This is true. Use private trust law, common law, constitutional rights to reclaim control over contracts, obligations made without full consent. Keyword without full consent. Gem drop. Challenge jurisdiction. Explore lawful remedies under the law, which is the Constitution. Request proof from your state or treasury regarding any securitizations of your legal name. Lawfully declare your status as a, should be standing, as a private man or woman. It says, would you like a template to request info from your state vital records or treasury about the CUSIP number or bond link? So I guess what they're saying here is that you can take your CUSIP off of your other documents, send in a template that chat can create for you to the state vital and or treasury or both, and see what they come back with. So in conclusion, yes, there are elements of truth to that theory that I just gave them. That's it. More fire information from your bad wolf. Off the top, I can't think of anything else to ask it right now. But hey, you guys have the same tool in your fingertips. It's more power in that phone connect to the internet than you guys realize. And it's more than just booty pics, cat pics, and dodging scammers and fake people pretending to be me or other people out there. Stay away from all that BS. Get your mind right, go get your education, make the changes in your life. Because I believe in you guys. All right. Talk to you later. Bad Wolf's out. Thanks. Have a great day. I'm going to get back to my vacation now. That's it. No videos for a while, mostly, unless they're going to be on my other channel. So I get to have fun. This stuff is rough. That stuff will be fun. And there's going to be a lot of people. Once again, we're going to be mad at the wolf on my other channels. Might be some of y'all too. Because I'm going to go in. All right. I'm gonna knock on some theories of the other people have about the pyramids compared to what I've read from these texts and other things and what I've learned, my own theories. So I'm gonna be covering a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna give you guys my perspective on things, everything from relationships to what happens in the news. So we'll see if I can keep up with these two other channels. All right. One will be about anything and everything, and the other one will be more focused, kind of like this channel. But so basically, it's like this. The Badwolf media channel is going to talk about stuff that's in the media. All right. Badwolf Unlimited, going to be everything. So talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Enjoy the weather and the summer. Love yourself. Take care of you and yours. Try to be better than you were today, than you were yesterday, so on and so forth. Don't let your ego or your pride get you. Don't be anybody's. Don't be out here being hoes and players. Stop all that trash. Stop with all the entertainment. To the females out there who are basically just walking around butt booty naked on stuff like that, even though I love the female form, stop all that, sis. If you ain't got the attention you want by now, your one or two OnlyFans videos ain't doing nothing. It's time to put your clothes on, get your mind right, and game up. All right. To the dudes out there being trash, I mean, y'all ain't got to stop anyway. So all I can say is, ladies, watch out for trash dudes. Dudes, watch out for trash ladies. And avoid people. You are who you surround yourself with. And if you can't find anybody to surround yourself with, then you yourself are good company. Might be lonely at times, but it's better to be lonely than phony. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.